Hey everybody, Joel here. So I'm working on under cabinet lighting, otherwise sometimes called under counter lighting, countertop lighting, accent lighting, anything like that. I've got the wires roughed in under. I put these in when I had the backsplash torn apart, put in a new tile backsplash, so got the wires run in, so that's all ready to go. Picked up the light fixtures. This one's a 36. I've taken apart this first light fixture over here and I drilled a new hole. On this end here, I have a drill with a unibit and it comes with a little connector. You can see up here, there's a little connector. These are the wires coming out of the wall for this 36 incher. And we've got these wires for that 36 incher. And then over here, there is another one, another pair of wires here for 36 inch light fixture here. It's kind of my staging area. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Also, just like I had mentioned, I've got a drill with a unibit. There's my step bit. That works really well for drilling the hole to get that connector in. And I'll be utilizing these short little 1/4 inch drive screws, kind of like what a tin knocker would use for screwing ductwork together. But they need to be really short in order to not go through the floor of the cabinet. We don't want it protruding up through there. So I've got 3/4 of an inch to work with. So I'll use these little 1/2 inch screws, and that will do the trick in holding these light fixtures in place. And I'm just going to put a double toggle switch in place here because I've got a 15 amp lighting circuit right here. So I'm just tying these lights. These lights use very little power. They're LED and they're adjustable to different colors too. If you look at the color schedule here, I think that's going to work out really nice. So I'll go ahead and keep rolling right along here, get a couple of these hung up and wired in, and we'll see how they turn out. I don't know if this is going to be a decent angle or not, but we'll see if this will work. You see I've got this connector in already. Just going to go ahead and tighten that up. It's important to keep these wires secure. You don't want them rubbing on the side of raw steel. That's why I use these Romex connectors. You definitely don't want that to cut through the steel on the fixture, to cut through the insulation. So there we go, that'll go right back to the wall here. And I'll just go ahead and mount this right up under the cabinet. Helps having a 1/4 driver with a magnet on the end here, so it'll hold the screw in there. Check the back end so you've got the fixture mounted out the same distance. It's not critical to have that measurement exact, but you don't want to have this thing running at a 10-degree angle or something across the bottom of the cabinet. It's nice to keep it parallel to the wall. Okay. So that's about 1.25 inches I can feel all the way across there. Feels good. Then we want to get our lock nut put onto the cable connector, Romex connector. Get a good secure connection in there. These fixtures are getting smaller and smaller. I've hung hundreds of these, but a lot of them used to be back when we had the T12 lamps, the big fat fluorescent lamps, back in the 80s and then the 90s, and then we started coming out with a T8 style lamp, and then the room got a little smaller. Now these LEDs just have no space to get this wiring hooked in. There it goes. Okay. Get the lock nut tightened up on there a little bit. Then I'll go ahead and I'll trim my wires. I left them long enough so I didn't know exactly where the splice would be, but it's at the middle of the fixture, so I'll go ahead and splice these wires together and make them long enough to get to the middle. Give them a good twist. With these solid wires, you definitely don't want to just leave them not twisted. You want to give them a good twist. Stranded wires a little different. When we hook up to the fixture wires, the stranded wires, we're not going to worry so much. We'll let the wire nut do the twisting. All right, then I'll get some wire nuts. I don't have all they sent with are these little blue ones. These tiny little blue jobbies, and they're not gonna do me any good. So I'll get these wires laid up in the trough nice and neatly, get this back together, and then we'll repeat 3 more times. I just want to point something out here that could be pretty important. This is an outside wall, and where these wires came out of the wall, where I had to cut the tile around where the wires were, I left it plenty large. I don't like to put these lights all the way tight against the wall. I like to leave a little bit of a space. And I think the length of the connector is usually a good eye to do that, to leave it back off the wall. So I will go ahead and I'll fill that in with a little bit of insulation. And I may just, since I have it and I did the work, may just put some grout up in there just to make it look. Nobody should be looking up, down, up there. If you come back, I mean, this is the view from up above. This is my eye level. So you're not going to really see that. But if you want to really pay attention to detail, you could go ahead and grout that a little bit around that connector down in there. I just think it's probably good practice to do so. Maybe put some duct seal in there or whatever you can to fill it in so you're not getting any cold air infiltration through the wall. Just something to point out. So I can't say that they're the easiest lights that I've ever put in. They're so compact, not a ton of space for the wiring, a little bit flimsy on the covers. But I guess they are up. They went together pretty decently, I guess. And they are robust. I mean, they've got some good qualities to them. Again, it's Patriot lighting. Just want to get you, I used an 18-inch and 3 36-inch lights. and got them at Menards, and they are dimmable. Wanted to point that out before finished up here. Dimmable, and they also have the selection switch, so you can get all the way up to, what's that, maybe 5K, I'm guessing, and all the way down here to pretty dim. So a lot of different selections there, and that's really nice depending on the color of your countertop to be able to make those selections and match the other lighting in the house, because that's important also. You don't want to have a bunch of different colors of light competing with each other, competing on the eyes. But I did want to point out also that these are, you can put these together. So they send these cords with, you can plug them in. You don't have to hardwire them. They could be plugged in, they're convertible. And they can be plugged together. There's a little plug on the end of the fixture, and you can take the little cap off of that and plug these in together. Quite frankly, I don't know if that would be the way I'd want to go. The direct wire is usually the best way to go, just for the fact you're not going to have these cords hanging all over the place or stuffed up in your cabinet somewhere. Personal preference though. And then I went ahead and I put a double switch on here. Had a lighting circuit in here for another light, 15 amp lighting circuit. So went ahead and put a double switch on that. And I guess let's go ahead and see what the reveal for you guys is going to look like. Oh, that's nice and bright. My wife is going to love that. I love it too. I like having the dark shadows of the rear portion of the countertop nice and lit up. So that's looking pretty good. It actually makes the range hood LED lights look really dim. Used to be that was the bright spot in the kitchen, was the range hood. These lights kind of dwarf that. Not too shabby. So yeah, this kitchen is coming along. Take a look at some of my other videos. Actually, I have a shed going up in the backyard there, and these all new kitchen appliances, new kitchen sink, new countertops. I built this island, painted it black. It's really dark brown stain on the cabinets, and we didn't think we'd be able to match that. So we went ahead and painted the island black, and I think it looks really good. Put new lights up. You can see I still haven't painted where I patched up there. The lights used to be where those holes are, and I was able to swap those around relatively easily. So new pendants over the island, a new refrigerator. It's all coming together really nice. But thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. We've got more projects coming up. I just had my wife on FaceTime from back in Minnesota. We're actually apart for a spell just because our daughter is still graduating high school back in Minnesota, and this is in Colorado. But anyways, had her on FaceTime, and we were determining that the lights, the under cabinet lights, were just a little bit too bright. So we dialed them back to the lowest setting, and I think that really makes it a lot nicer. It's not quite as white and blinding. Even though it was on the medium, it wasn't on the brightest. It was on the medium. There's just so much white with the backsplash and the counter. I think it was a little bit too obnoxious. We did together. So now the two tops match a little bit better with the pendants that we have going on here. And still the range hood lights just get drowned out by those under cabinet lights. So, but anyways, just want to give you an update that we did change the color setting on the fixture themselves to the lowest Kelvin. And I don't know if that's 35. I think it might be 3,500. I think the highest is 5 or over 5K. I'd have to look at the box. But anyways, this is how it all turned out. And thank you for watching. And we'll see you on the next video.